Welcome to our kitchen. Today we prepare an ancient Greek sweet called Gastris, which can be translated as delicacy. We start with ingredients. We need sesame seeds, almonds, hazelnuts, poppy seeds, honey and black pepper. First we roast the almonds and hazelnuts. The part of the sweet for which we need the almonds and hazelnuts will have an intense black color, so we preferred to use unpeeled almonds and hazelnuts, but the author of the recipe says nothing about this. We found this recipe in one of the most important sources for ancient Greek cuisine, the Hypnosophists by Athenaeus. It's a book written in the 3rd century that collects various fragments and quotes from literature and poetry about several topics, from food to music and culture in general. Many of these sources would be lost if not for Athenaeus' work. In this case, Athenaeus reports a recipe by Chrysippus of Tyana, author of a bread recipe we made a few months ago. You find the link to the video in the description below. Now we roast the poppy seeds. We roast them at a lower temperature than the almonds and hazelnuts, but for a longer time. It's interesting to notice that Gastris was a typical Cretan sweet, whereas Chrysippus came from Cappadocia in modern-day Turkey, and Athenaeus from Naucratis, an Egyptian city. The poppy seeds will give the black color to the central part of this sweet, but there's no need to roast them until they are completely dark. When we pound them in the mortar, they will release an intense black color from the internal part of the seed. Nuts and seeds are very common in ancient Mediterranean recipes to prepare various kinds of foods, from the sauces to bread and sweets. Ancient Greeks ended their banquets with the so-called tragemata, which included cheese, boiled legumes, fresh and dried fruit, nuts and sweets. We grind in the mortar a bit of black pepper. As Romans, Greeks knew 3 kinds of pepper, the most used Eastern spice in their cooking: black, white and long. Being necessary to obtain a black nut paste, we suggest using the black or long variety. Then we add the poppy seeds. The recipe specifies to use many poppy seeds to give to the paste a black color. Poppy seeds were used to make bread according to Galen. We prepared in the past a poppy seed bread from a recipe by Pliny and Catus Savillum, a cheesecake dressed with poppy seeds. You find the links to the videos in the description below. Galen considers better the white seeds than the black for their soporific properties, but he suggests avoiding to use them excessively. He considers poppy seeds hard to digest and scarcely nutritious. Now we pound the almonds and hazelnuts. Hazelnuts, according to Galen, were very common among Greeks, despite being scarcely nutritious, but the potential harm they produce can be counteracted by taking them with raw before the meal. A suggestion that Galen considers good for any kind of dangerous food. According to Dioscorides, eating 5 or 7 almonds before drinking keeps away drunkenness. And almonds kill foxes if they eat them with other foods. We cook the honey for a few minutes at low heat. The aim of this step is to reduce the amount of water. We boiled it until the honey reduced by about 1/5. Honey is one of the most important ingredients in ancient Mediterranean cuisine. We find it used for any kind of dish, sweet or salty, to balance the flavors or give sweetness to the plates. While the honey is still warm, we add it in the mortar and mix it with the other ingredients. We need just enough honey to make a quite solid yet malleable paste. It's important to do this step while the honey is still warm, because when it will cool down, it will become almost solid and very hard to mix with the other ingredients. Greeks called plakous this kind of sweet. We find this name when we prepared catus placenta a few months ago, a term which simply means cake. Also savillum and libum are preparations of the same kind. You find the links to the videos in the description below. Now we pound the sesame seeds. The sesame seeds must be unroasted because we'll use them for the white layers of the sweet. Sesame seeds, gall and rice were used mixed with honey in a similar way as we are doing for the recipe of Gastris, or to season bread. According to Galen, they are hard to digest and fat. We add the warm honey to the sesame seeds and form 2 balls. We need the double of sesame seeds than the other seeds and nuts. We'll make 2 white layers and 1 black layer. We used about 120 grams of sesame seeds and 40 grams of poppy seeds and 20 of almonds and hazelnuts. The author doesn't specify the quantities, but it's essential that the black layer is exactly the half of the other 2, being more intense and spicy, to create an excellent sweet. Now we shape the gastris. We make 2 squares with the sesame paste and 1 with the poppy paste, to obtain the final shape of a cube. The flavor of this sweet is surprisingly good and complex, slightly spicy with black pepper. The black and white parts have completely different flavors, and it is fundamental that each morsel contains all the 3 layers, to create an extraordinary balance among the various aromas. This sweet is the perfect way to end an ancient Greek meal, with a Cretan delicacy well known in the Antiquity. If you're interested in ancient foods and flavors, or you're just looking for unusual and delicious recipes, please subscribe our channel.